Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to be looking at Unit 7, Lesson 1, Ratios. So what is a ratio? Well, a ratio is a comparison of two values. Okay, ratios can compare a part and another part. They can compare a part to a whole, or they can do a whole to a part. So here's an example. The ratios below describe the relationships that we have among the pieces of fruit over here, the apples and bananas. So to do a part to part of the fruit is 4 apples to 2 bananas, or 2 bananas to 4 apples. Part to whole, there's 4 apples, but altogether there's 6 pieces of fruit. I can say a whole to a part, there's 6 pieces of fruit altogether to 2 bananas. Okay. All right. Okay, so when we're writing ratios, we can write them a couple different ways. We can write A to B. We can say A to B. And we can also write it like a fraction, A over B. Okay. Now, using the diagram on our left side, we're going to write a ratio in 2 different ways. Okay, so each one. So they want to know shaded squares. So I'm going to count, and I'm going to see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 shaded, and they say to how many unshaded? Well, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but they said to write it 2 ways. So I've got it 4 to 6. I'm going to, 4 to 6, 10 to 6. I'm also going to write it 10 over 6. Okay. Now they said unshaded squares. Well, we said there were 6 unshaded to, and it says total. Well, if I count 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, that's the shaded and non-shaded put together, all the squares. Okay. They said write it another way. Well, I'm going to say 6 to 16. Now, here's what I want you to notice. I'm putting the part it calls for first, okay? Because I'm comparing the shaded to the unshaded. I can't say 6 to 10 because that would be flipping it. That would be comparing unshaded to shaded. So always start with what it's asking first, that number first. Okay. All right, total squares. Well, we said total squares was 16. To shaded squares. Well, we said there were 10 shaded squares. Let's write this as a fraction. Okay. Unshaded squares is 6 to shaded squares is 10. And I'm going to say 6 over 10. Good job. All right, so let's practice this together. What is the ratio of apples to pears? Okay, well, again, it asks for apples first. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 6, 2, and then it says pears, 1, 2, 3. Okay, remember another way we can go 6, use the 2 dots, 3, or 6 over 3. Now it says, what's the ratio of pears to apples? So 3 pears to 6 apples. We could say 3 to 6, or we could say 3 over 6. All right, let's move on. Now, it's your turn to practice. I want you to look at the ratio of tennis balls to soccer balls, then the ratio of baseballs to soccer balls, and then what's the ratio of basketballs, let's get that N out of there, basketballs to baseballs. Okay, pause the video and then come back and see if you got it correct. I'd like to see you do it at least 2 ways for each one. All right, so for the first one, tennis balls. Well, there's one, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4. And it says soccer balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 to 7. You could do it that. You could say 4 to 7. Or you could have said 4 over 7. Good job. Ratios of baseballs. Okay, 1, 2 baseballs to soccer balls. We said there were 7 soccer balls. So I could have said that like that, or I could have said 2 to 7 or 2 over 7. Okay, and then what's the ratio of basketballs to baseballs? Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3 basketballs. We said there's 2 baseballs. And it could have done it any of those ways. Now, what if I ask about how many soccer balls and compare it to how many there is altogether, total balls, right? Well, I could say that there's soccer balls are 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would have to count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Notice that when I counted, I included the soccer balls. So it's showing that out of all the balls, 17, out of all of them, 7 are soccer balls. Okay, great job. That's the end of your lesson. I'll see you back here for Unit 7, Lesson 2. Head back to class craft.